Good afternoon everybody, welcome back to Rattlesnake Canyon. Mike here with you again as always. Now I've just put out a video showing the Habitat Viv build, and today I'm going to do another Viv build. This is a new one to me, so this is a brand new range of Vivs from ProRep. They come in flat pack like all of the Vivs, the majority of the Vivs these days do. The only ones that we deal with which come in pre-built are the clear seal ones, but other than that the flat pack ones are the ones we do. Now let me run you through a few of the little features of this ProRep vivarium as far as I know them and understand them so far. Firstly, they've been made lighter. This means that they can be sent out via normal standard next day courier, meaning that we can order in specially for you within 24 hours as long as they've got them in stock. It also means they're easier for us to move, easier for us to manoeuvre, easier for you to manoeuvre when you get them at home. They're also, being lighter, they'll be easier to stack on other items. As far as stacking on themselves, and everybody does it, you know, we've all got stacks of vivariums. I don't know yet. I haven't built one up. I haven't even opened the box yet. I've had this since last Thursday. We're on Tuesday now, and this is the first chance I've had to build the Viv up. What I wanted was a good solid length of time where I can open it up and give you a full review and a full build of it without getting disturbed. So I'm actually doing this out of hours. We've just closed up. So I'm going to do this now and see how it looks. As far as the weight goes, the way that ProRep have reduced the weight is multiple different ways. Firstly, the Viv itself is built around an aluminium frame. Because of that, the panels are able to be thinner and therefore lighter. So most of our other Vivs, the Habitat Vivs, the clear seal, are 18mm thick wood. With these ones, the base is 12mm thick, the lid is 15mm thick, which isn't a lot of a difference. It's about the same size as the Viv Exotic standard wood. And then the sides and back are 6mm thick. Now that to me is very, very thin, but I'm told by the rep that that doesn't weaken the structure in any way because of that aluminium frame. So we'll see as I'm building it. This is where I want to be able to build it and kind of, I'm putting it together, but I'm going to be ripping it apart at the same time, potentially. So that's the one thing. The other thing they've done is given it a full glass front. By that I mean that the braces which you can see on the tops of these vivariums aren't there. Same at the bottom. The bottom has a substrate rail which is glass, so that still becomes, if you only put a shallow substrate in, it's still nice and good for a viewing area. If you put a deeper substrate in, fine, you do it as you want to. The doors then sit on top of it and they go right up to the roof without any brace there. Not sure how I feel about that. I will say it's a very, very, very old design, which I originally saw back in the late 80s, early 90s at the old Serpentarium. Dave Lester used to have a lot of this particular style of vivariums. So it does seem like we're stepping back in time a little bit, but possibly advancing at the same time. So it could be a good thing. It does give you a much bigger viewing area, which is nice, and it does look really nice. My only thing is I like to hide my UV units in behind that brace, so I like to bring the UV right to the front so it's hidden and not blinding people. Without that brace, obviously anything which is fitted to the roof of the vivarium is fully visible. So again, once I've built it and we've got it, it'll go on top of here once I've cleared that off and moved some stuff around, and we've got it in place. We can have a look at it, by all means come in store and have a look, have a little pick at it yourself and pick the faults. I want the faults if you find them, because I don't want to be selling something that's got faults to it. Equally, if you find a fault with it and you think there's a problem or think there's a better suggestion, let me know. I can pass it on to ProRep and see what they think to it as well. Hopefully they've thought of all the faults anyway. So, as I say, we're out of hours, so what you will notice in a few minutes is most of the lights around me in the vivariums will go off because they're all timed. So that'll change the lighting a little bit, but there we go. First thing I'm going to show you, as we come down and look at the box, you'll see, this is the interesting bit. It's a 36 by 18 by 18, so 90, 45, 45. Colour wise I've gone for the grey because it's different, but look at that weight, 17.5 kilos gross weight, so that includes all your packaging and everything else. If I wander over here to the Habitat vivarium that we've got in stock, that at the same size is, where am I, there, 27.2 kilos. So that's almost a full 10 kilos lighter. So that's going to be interesting. The other thing that ProRep say is, because these are designed at being sent out via courier, their internal packaging is a lot more protective. So that's my next thing. First thing I'm going to do, raise you up a little bit, drop the tripod out a bit so I can see what we can see what we're doing, and there we go. Right, now then, let's lie this down on the floor and open it up and see what we've got. Did that and I've got to lift it up again to open it. There go the lights, as I said they would. Cardboard looks nice and thick on the outer box, so that's a good start. Don't know what tools we're going to need for building this up. Obviously, as I say, I've not built one of these before. Okay, first thing we see, plenty polystyrene. That's nice and thick around the edges. That's a good inch thick piece of polystyrene around all the top, sides and bottom of the box. There are also corner plates these little cardboard corners. Those are quite sturdy as well. And polystyrene over the top. Destruction leaflet. Okay. 4 steps. Yep, 4 steps, looks nice and simple. I wonder if it goes together as easily as it says. And as with standard flat pack furniture, there is a breakdown of the pieces that you should have. So let's get these out and make sure we've got everything. So that's the glass in there. We'll put that to the side for now. I thought it might be. Looks nice and securely packed there. Itchy nose. Fixings. Interestingly, with little covers to pop over the screws. Put them on there. I have a feeling that will be another piece of glass, which will be the brace for across the bottom. We have tracking in there. No, we don't. We have corner pieces. These are all numbered. So we have those there. I will clean up all the rubbish afterwards, or tomorrow. That's the tracking, by the look of it. That's the bottom track. So this is the roof. I will say it's a very nice finish. The colour's lovely, rather metallic looking. And the roof has side bits of tracking, and there's also a front track there that your glass will slot into. That's the back. Now, I'm not sure whether you'll make out how thin that is, but even at that, that's pretty solid still. Seems to be made from decent wood, good solid wood. Even though the wood is actually very thin, as I say, it's 6mm thick or thin, however you want to put it, that's still good solid pieces. Big vents for the sides of the vivariums, those can go top and bottom, so you can switch them around, both top, whichever way you want to do it. Those. The back has 2 holes for round vents, which, looking at the fixing pack, are cable type vents as well, so you can feed the cables through them. Nearly dropped it. Good job, there's polystyrene underneath. And that's your base. Again, with the bits of tracking around the edges, which all seem very firmly fitted for sides and front glass to slot into. Shift that out the way and double check. What have we got? We have 1 base, 1 top, 2 sides, 1 back, 1 front, 2 glasses. Now then, we should have 2 number 7s. Sorry, 1 number 7, 1 number 8, 2 number 9s, and number 10, and the fixing kit. Cool. Looking good so far. So that's the vent, slots together. Just got to get it in the right place when you lock it together again. Line that to there. And it locks, so you can open your wire vents. I like that. that looks like it screws together. Yep. So that bit goes in from the outside, that goes from the inside, and they thread together once you line them up properly. Yep, like those. They're good. What else have we got? Stick on door handles. Screw covers for the top. Screws and an Allen key. So this is held together by 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 screws I've got in here. Yep, 8 of one size, 2 of another. Okay, be interesting. Let's go. Right, where do we start? Allen key. Oh, it's an Allen key at one end and a screwdriver at the other, which says we've got both pieces. So then we want number 1. Which one's number 1? So this is number 1. That's for that side then. That'll be for that side there. Okay. I would probably ordinarily use the electric screwdriver to do this, but I haven't bought it in and it isn't charged either, so manual will do it. So you put both of your number 9 pieces at the back. I say at the back because I'm assuming this is the back. You can hear the parrot's very vocal out the front this evening because I'm out here and he's not used to me being around here still after closing. So just wedge that like that. And then we have 7 and 8. So 7. I will say it seems pretty sturdy so far. So the next piece we need is this one. Now this glass looks to me to be around about 6mm, and it feels nicely rounded and toughened. So that slots in, actually, yeah, tempered glass. I will put it on the right way up so that you can read that, because I'm just a funny bugger like that. That slots in there then, and then this piece, I'm assuming goes over the front part of there. The two slightly smaller screws which come in the pack, which are the ones with a Phillips head instead of the Allen key type fitting, are for this piece. Lining these up is fun. I may, let me do this way. I do have a habit of doing things my way. Makes it easier to see. Okay, so this is the first fiddly bit I found, but I think, no, are we in? No, still not in there. These are not easy to get lined up. That's in there now. Oh, these Allen keys are shit. Okay, so that's lined up in there. That was rather fiddly to do. So that's the first awkward bit. If that turns out to be the only awkward bit, then it's all good really, isn't it? Once you've got one end screwed in, the other end lines up a lot easier. I have to say I would suggest using a normal screwdriver rather than this bloody Allen key thing, because it's not the best. Not the easiest to work with, but still. Okay, that seems to have done that job. Cool. Right, next thing, what do we do? So I'll put the sides in. What I will do, those are fitted really tightly, so I can't see them being pushed out. If you're unsure and worried about them pushing out, then I would recommend that you fit them with this on the inside, because that's got the rim around it, but they seem to be nice and tightly fitted. So I'm going to put them the way that looks a little bit neater. So that slots in there and straight down there like that. I've done a top and bottom arrangement. It gives through flow of air. Okay, they slide in nicely. And let's just fit the cable grips in the back. There you go, lining those up properly was a little bit of fun, but there you go. So those are in the back. You then got that on the inside at the front, so you can feed your cables through nice and neatly. My only negative comment on that is the same as the positive comment I used for Havistats vivariums. It's not quite high enough to me, because that drops down and falls a good distance. Right, annoyingly the battery died as I was finishing off the build. As I was saying towards the end, a little bit before it did die, the vents are a little bit low on the back for my liking, because it allows then a looping down on any wiring. As it is, it's finished. Looks very nice, I think. Yeah, I've fitted the sides with a cross to allow a cross flow, and then I did a little test. I'm not sure whether I've got the angle right for this now, so let me take you back a bit. I was wondering about the sturdiness and stability of it. That's twice. That's the second time I've jumped up on top of there. Well, stepped up. 17 stone a bloke standing on here, and it feels nice and sturdy, considering that's only made out of 6mm wood, top out of 15. That's held together really well. Few other little things which I didn't mention in the features at the beginning. The sides are slightly recessed so that you can put them up against another Viv and still get the ventilation. Same at the back, so when you butt that up against the wall, there's still the ventilation there. Yeah, front's got the same kind of slight recess as well, so you get a little bit of an overhang, but I like that. These now, the other thing that doing cheaper and thinner materials has done has reduced the price. So this one at 36 by 18 by 18 retails for $94.99. This one is available for sale, and other sizes and colours are available to order. thanks for watching, guys. Go along, like, subscribe, the usual YouTube jazz, as I say. And apologies for the breaking filming. I did check the battery and it seemed fine, but obviously using it up, it's died a lot quicker than I expected. So you missed a few little bits, but everything went together nice and easily in the end. So thank you again, and thanks to ProRep for a nice new unit, something different and a lovely colour. So pop in store and see them, and I'll see you on the next one.